I had this great sweater, and I just happened to glance, and I looked at him. I'm like, oh my god,
You looked at you seen your reflection.
yeah. I'm like, yo,
Mm.
what is that? And I did that to myself. That's the countless years of drinking, because that's what brings down your testosterone levels, man. The drinking, the saturated fat, just the
Mm.
lack of sleep, the stress, the cortisol, everything.
Do you give credit for your success in weight loss to
Uh, this,
TRT?
this this is controversial. So the drinking is still in the play. I said, let me find a healthier alternative.
So I'm here with my guy Bravo, who has a phenomenal weight loss story, and I got a few bones to pick with you too, bro. Like we're gonna get
Yeah,
to that part.
I already know. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm honest. I gotta go. I had
So
to keep it real with you.
nah, and I respect that. I appreciate that, but we'll get to that a little bit later in the conversation. So first and foremost, how much weight did you lose? You look amazing. Let me say
Thank
that,
you.
bro.
Appreciate that.
Like
Uh, my
bro to bro, you look amazing. How much weight did you lose?
my start weight was 230 around there. My heaviest was 250. I remember seeing that in the scale one time, and I think I passed out. I never went on a scale again. But when I decided to make the move, I was 230, and my lowest weight was about 150. Yeah, I'm sitting at 160, 165 right now, depending on if I'm carbon
Mm.
up or what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm sitting at 160, 65.
So it's one thing to lose weight, right? It's one thing to see that scale go down. You go down a few pant sizes, but it's another thing to totally transform to the point where you went from like bare belly to a six pack. Like you got a whole new body. So take me back to the beginning of your journey. What led to you being that overweight?
Well, I was always a chubby kid, Caribbean household, rice, beans, chicken, everything. Yeah, it was when I hit 19, I went away to the military. I got stationed in Italy. I'm eating food I never ate before.
Mm-hmm.
No self-control, really. You know what I'm saying? About 2 years into the military, I blew up. I got out of the military, and I just continued that. In the military, you do a lot of drinking. It's like a 4-year college run.
Mm.
And I was bugging. I was stugging and bugging in there, and I took it home with me. It's continuing. This is something you don't think about because nobody prioritizes diet, structure, food in, energy out. Nobody tells you that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And it's on your own. I mean, I come up in the era where you had to go to the library to go to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So I could have that excuse when I was a kid. Like, I didn't know no better. My gym teacher was like 350. He was just getting a check, so he wasn't going to tell me nothing.
Real quick, guys, I'm able to provide you guys these free life-changing videos because of the support of my sponsors. And today's sponsor is one of my favorites, Teach Hanley. And I say Teach Hanley is one of my favorite sponsors because they literally have changed my life. I've been using Teach Hanley products now for years, maybe 3 or 4 years now, give or take. And before I started working with Teach Hanley, I had no skincare routine at all. I started with the level 1 system. I think everyone should start with that system because it has everything you need. It has an AM moisturizer, which by the way has an SPF that helps protect your skin from the sun. It has a PM moisturizer. It has a daily face wash, and it has an exfoliating scrub that you use a few times a week. The system is brilliant because they make it mindless. And for men like me, we need that, right? They give you the instructions. They provide you this card. And in this card, it breaks down every detail of the routine. So you don't have to think much, you just follow the instructions. So Teach Hanley has a brand new offer. They're actually offering 30% off for your first order. And once you become a member, you get 20% off for life. And you get to choose between 2 free gifts. This really cool silicone body scrubber or the nail and face grooming kit. Now, personally, I already had a nail kit, even though this one is real sexy. If I had to choose, I would go with this one personally. There's something different about scrubbing your body because when I tell you, your skin feels a different type of clean when it's being scrubbed by this thing. Listen, do not procrastinate. Take advantage of this offer right now. The link is in the description. Thank you, Teach Hanley, for sponsoring today's video.
My breaking point was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. I'm a longshoreman. I work on the docks in Brooklyn. So it's a 24-hour operation, really not at my pier, but the job itself. It's like you're basically on call 7 days a week, working container ships and cruise ships. So I work overnight every now and then, and sometimes 20 hours a day, 23 hours until the ship is done. So you'll drive a truck, let's say for 4 hours, and getting containers off the ship, and you get 2 hour breaks. So you do that rotation until the ship is done. You could be there 35 hours. You know, I've done as much as a weekend from Friday to Monday doing that, you know. And I got this rash on my belly. And I'm like, damn, you know, I got good insurance. Let me go handle that. So I go, and it was in the Upper East Side, it was an Italian dermatologist, European lady. I say that because in Europe they really don't hold no punches. You know,
They
people are really,
straightforward.
yeah, they just let you know, you know. And she just looked at me, gave me a prescription.
Oh,
A prescription.
prescription.
She
Okay.
go, pick this up. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, listen, this is gonna work because I don't want to take off of work. You know, I don't want to have to come back here. She's like, well, this will alleviate your symptoms, but the problem isn't that, it's your stomach. She said, when you fix your stomach, you won't come back. And like with the dramatic exit and all that, I'm like, damn. Like, yo, I was about to, because you could review them on Cigna. I was about to give her a 1 star. It was crazy. She made me feel crazy. But after that, man, I went home and I'm like, damn, my gut is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you seen the pictures.
So your stomach was so big, it was rubbing against your belt buckle, and that was causing the irritation.
Right. She's like, listen, you have an adverse reaction to this metal, whatever it is. There's no cure for it. But the only way you can help it is if you reduce the size of your stomach. You know, and a lot of us go through that. And when we're trying to lose weight, we try to like point fingers at something else. Like, it's the food. It's this. Nah, it's you, you know?
It's your choices. Was part of the reason why you overate and drank was stress involved? Was it a mental health aspect that contributed to your eating habits and your drinking habits?
I mean, definitely. I mean, it takes a certain type of person to admit to it and be open. I mean, we're not going to do the psychiatrist route. I mean, we could go there if you want to, but
Yeah,
definitely.
let's go there. Let's go there. That's what we do here.
But definitely was that, you know, you internalize a lot of things, and the way the way I can't say the way I dealt with it was like that. You know, it was like, if you felt bad. I remember this one time, this story was good. I drive, but I was gonna go visit my brother. He lived in Queens. I'm like, let me take the train. I'm probably gonna have a few drinks with him. I don't want to drive, right? It was close. You know, in New York, it's a bunch of stores. I was living in East Harlem at the time, and I'm walking down the street. You know how you look, and all the stores have it's all glass. I had a polo hoodie, gray. You know, a light color really accentuate, you know, your silhouette. You know, black is what you wear. You know, that's why Rick Ross always wearing black. Shout out to the homie. But I had this gray sweater, and I just happened to glance, you know, and I looked at him. I'm like, oh my God.
You looked at you seen your reflection.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, what is that? Like, that's me, and I'm about to go see my Jack brother, who's probably, you know, meal prepping something right now, and I'm about to walk in there and probably break his tiles or something. And I'm like, damn, this is wild. Before, I remember I lived in Orlando many years ago, and I did the lemonade diet. You ever heard of that?
Nah.
It's a crazy diet, bro. It's like not a diet. It's some stupidity. It's really what it is. It's water, squeezed lemons, cayenne pepper, and sea salt. That's it.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's a cleanse or whatever, but I did it. I lost like 20 pounds in 5 days, but what did I do? What did I do right after that? I ordered a pie. I probably ate the whole thing. And then I did. and then, you know, I just kept going. And that's it. You know?
So once you hit that breaking point moment, and you had all of these moments where you realized, like, it started hitting you between the doctor visit, between you seeing yourself in the reflection, right? What was the first step that you took to try to get your weight under control?
My first step was I said I'm gonna stop eating after 5 p.m. Right? And I was like, I'm gonna stick to eggs and a wrap, or a chicken wrap, or salads. That's it. And I'm gonna stop eating at 5. But check this out. So the drinking is still in the play. I said, let me find a healthier alternative. Does that even exist? It doesn't, right? With alcohol, right? But I just want to make sure I'm still drinking. So I'm like, I'm switching to vodka. You know, it's clear. It's damn near water. You know, so I'm like, I'm doing vodka now, man. No ice, no nothing. So I would stop eating after 5, but the nightcap. And I did that for about from May to like June, and I lost about 10, 15 pounds. 10, 15 pounds at 230, you feel it, you see it, you know. And I'm like, oh shit, you know, this works. And then I knew I had to step it up.
You were still drinking at the time.
Yeah, still drinking. Point where I used to wear compression socks when I drove because I was scared of having a stroke because driving a vehicle for so long and you're sitting there and I know I'm not active, that could lead to a blood clot. So instead of me going to the gym or being healthy, I got garlic pills. What else I get? I got the beet powder. You see that? All them Band-Aids they sell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's working. It's working. This shit wasn't working, you know. But anything that I could do to go through the path of least resistance, I did, you know.
Yeah. So you bootleg my 12-week transformation jumpstart program.
I'm like, I'm not paying Brix no bread. He look like he doing good. You know, he good. He got the Lexus and all that. I seen all the whole, you know, it's like a little movie you got going on. I didn't really do the diet because I wasn't that committed. I wanted the structure with the weight training. And after the first week, I'm like, all right, this is good. Like, you had a link for every exercise that was vital. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see the program bond, go to the other page, click the hyperlink, shows you how to do the movement. Then I'll do research on the movement itself. Because when you're a newbie, you pull in there, you looking crazy squatting, you know, it's embarrassing. I know a lot of other guys I've met that are bigger that be like, yo, I'm embarrassed to go in there. And I was too, I ain't gonna lie, but I really had no shame. Second time around I did your program, I did it back to back. I did it with better form. I did it now knowing range of motion. I did it knowing, what's the other one? You know, raising the weight every day, every other day. Progressive overload, you know. I hired meal prep lady, one of my boys' girls. She's a competitor, actually. She competes. And she made meals like Dominican style meals, you know, that catered to me, you know, little rice and bean action. You know, you need that, you need that like comfort. I'm not doing, you know, I don't want that steamed vegetable, even though I do that now. You mature, I do that now. But so at some point I parted ways with her and I took control of the kitchen. You know, I got the My Fitness Pal. Boom, got that, you know, and I started tracking. I was looking at your stuff recently, and like, I'm big on tracking in the beginning.
I tell people all the time, like, it's a good way to start for sure, because you develop calorie awareness. You start to understand how much food you should be eating. Right. Because like me, I gained 100 pounds, 150 pounds after high school because I had no clue that I was eating 6,000 calories, 7,000 calories a day. Right. So tracking, I'm a big advocate for tracking. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Like you, I had no idea when I really started getting into tracking and noticing that one stop in McDonald's was the equivalent of mileage from here to California. I'm like, yo, what am I doing to myself? You know, that big soda. And if you ever been to Europe, you go to McDonald's or you go to any fast food establishment in Europe.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. You figure stuff out, you know, and then it's like, I got this. And then I got the little cooler. My car is like a mobile prep shop. I don't go nowhere without no food.
So did you drink the entire time during your weight loss transformation?
Oh, no. Stop? Nah, this is funny. It was because of you. Because throughout the video series, there was one video when you touched on alcohol. Your body prioritizes getting rid of the toxin versus burning the fat. I'm like, nah, we got to stop that. And I stopped. When I tell you I stopped for like months, bro, I didn't touch alcohol.
When people come up to you asking you for advice, right? Because I'm pretty sure you get a lot of people like, yo,
a lot of that.
Bravo, help me, yo, how do I get jacked like you? What's your response to that when people ask you for help?
I mean, I would say my advice is just get to it, get to the gym. Keep a few fat pictures on your recent, like the worst ones. I do that to this day. Like I could go to my gallery. And I just like, look, I'm like, nah, I don't want to see him again. You know, if I see him, his hands and feet. We're not seeing him again. You know, we put hands on son if we see him, you know?
I don't know much about testosterone replacement therapy. I've never even had my testosterone checked. I get a lot of questions about that. I don't even know. So do you give credit for your success in weight loss to TRT?
This is controversial. So, we all have a hormone. We have to have a hormones at a certain level to be optimal. You understand? So when I got my hormones checked, I was deemed a medical necessity, being that it was below normal standards. So I go to a clinic. I'm getting this through my medical insurance. So I'm not pinning in the gym. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing this on my own. I get lab. I just
Through
got my lab.
medical professionals. It's not, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
I
yeah.
get my I just got my labs back right for yesterday. I'm at A74. If you're under 300, you're considered a medical necessity. When I initially got tested, I was in the low 200s. And I did that to myself. That's the countless years of drinking, because that's what brings down your testosterone levels, man. The drinking, the saturated fat, just the lack of sleep, the stress, the cortisol, everything. So I'm just replenishing the stuff that I wasn't able to take care of. That's how I like to say it. When you go to these places, you see a lot of men in and out of there. None of them, most of them don't look like me. That's all I want to say. A lot of people gonna say, oh, it's the test, but not everybody walking in and out of there is jack. You see a lot of them, but you need more than that. It's not a standalone product. You got to add water and a little bit of hard work and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Man, I'm an avid meal prepper. I'm looking at how many grams of protein I'm hitting for the day. I'm looking at the fiber. I'm looking at the good fats. You understand me? I'm on it. You know what I mean? I'm in the gym 5-6 days a week. So it ain't just that.
It was more of a physiological need to just get you back at homeostasis, to get you back where you're functioning, where you're supposed to. So it wasn't used, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, as a performance enhancement. It was more
Nah,
just health.
right. It is help. When low testosterone, the symptoms are male breasts, depression, belly fat. These are all symptoms of low testosterone. Uh, low libido. You ever hear that a couple going through it, the wife saying, "Oh, you don't touch me. Your man got low test." You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. And these are things that people don't want to really, you know, I wouldn't advise that for anybody that's young. I would say anybody under 35 or even younger. But let's say when I got tested and my levels were good, I wouldn't have needed it. You know what I'm saying? So I put in a lot. I think I could have gotten like this without it? I do. I really do, man. Because it takes about a year to 2 years to really get the full effect of the testosterone. Um, and also, I was shedding heavy amounts of weight, man. So it wasn't overnight, But to each his own. I'm pretty sure people feel a different way about it. Just checked under the hood; it was fucked up, and I'm sorry, and I had to fix it. I had to fix it.
Absolutely. Yeah, nah, and I appreciate your transparency, bro. Your story was fun to listen to. I appreciate you coming on the channel, bro, and sharing your story. A lot of people need to see this. They need to hear that it's possible. You feel what I'm saying? It just takes some commitment. It takes some perspective shifts. It takes
Definitely.
some commitment. You feel me? And you're a living testament of that. So I want to thank you, brother. Bravo. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you too, man. Appreciate you, man.